Are you glad to be with us? Woo, that sounds good. That's beautiful. My name is Reverend Nikki Golden. I am one of the co-ministers here. The other is Reverend Mindy Tucker. She will be giving the talk today. We both want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yay, Merry Christmas.
Yes, this is our Christmas service Sunday, really. It's our Christmas Sunday, but on New Year's Eve, we will have a Christmas service. Christmas Eve. Oh, excuse me. Man, I am just rushing the calendar, aren't I? That's how it feels to me some days. Your presence is a gift to us on this Christmas Sunday. Your presence brings joy. You might not know it, but that's your natural birthright. So how could you not bring joy by being yourself? So thank you for being willing to bring yourself here in this beautiful spiritual community today. We are honoring the path that you are on, and we are honoring the unity path of spiritual unfoldment, of learning how to live as our full and magnificent self, because it is a journey. It's a process of living. Let's begin that journey today with a affirmative prayer, a spoken affirmative prayer. We begin with, I am divine.
I am divine.
I am joy.
I am joy.
I find joy in everyday things. I am abundant. I open my heart. And I have a great time in life. And so it is. We have several people that are supporting us today. We have a who's who list. So Chris is back, so you guys can hear beautifully.
Yay!
We're so happy to have him back. So Zach is singing with us, Jay on piano, Marianne is supporting vocals, Sherry is our Sunday coordinator.
Julie's our YFM director. We're all good.
Yes, we are.
We are all good, and we are completely 100%, that's an affirmation, prepared for holiday services. This Wednesday, we have our candlelight service at 7 o'clock. Next Sunday is our burning bowl. It's a ritual of release. And then on January 4th, we have our ritual of white stone, creating an intention, a name for ourselves for the coming year. And let me tell you, these services are the ones that are the best attended because they're really that outer reflection of our inner commitment to our own spiritual awakening.
It's exciting to have these services. Stephanie Loveland today is doing a winter solstice and releasing and blessing ceremony. Stephanie, would you stand up so people can see you?
That's Stephanie.
It will begin and end in the classroom. It will have some time in the courtyard. So around the building is the classroom. She'll be waiting for you and excited to be present with you during this auspicious time, this day of a holy day.
6 o'clock tonight. Next Sunday is Divine Audacity. It's the last discussion. It's the last power. Kudos to Sherry Raspa and Paul Raspa for leading us and facilitating this year-long discussion. Big celebration for the power of life next Sunday. Mm-hmm.
And then we have some things that are opening up for us in the new year in 2026. And one of the first ones is that Paul Raspa is doing a series on stopping our personal energy leaks. I don't know if you guys have any leaks, you know. You can play the tea kettle and but what he's going to teach is how to shine your soul and brighten your life so that those leaks, when you do radiate, it's not a leak, it's a true radiation.
Right. Then Reverend Nikki is teaching a class called Metaphysical Bible Interpretation. Hebrew Scriptures, it is so fun. It's fundamental to unity. It's a different way of looking at the Bible and having it come alive and be relevant in our lives today. Honestly, whatever opinion you have on the Bible, this is fun and profound.
And it's really amazing. I have students who often say, oh, I don't like the Bible, Reverend Nikki. And it's like, that's okay. Come with an open mind, see what you think. And when they leave, they have a different experience.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
Yes, so
And
if you're up for that, that's on Saturdays in January.
Yes.
All right, stand as you are able. We're going to sing Deck the Halls. Yeah, fa la 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 la.
Sunday, and it's a very special Sunday on the third Sunday because we have someone from the congregation come and share with us information about themselves, their lives, and how unity has touched it. This is Kurt Hudson. He's an amazing man, worth getting to know. He's got lots of great stories, and he's going to share with us.
Thank you, Reverend. Again, my name is Kurt, spelled with a C, though. My name is Kurt Hudson. Thank you, Reverend Nikki, for the opportunity to get up here and speak and tell my story. I don't tell it often because you don't know who's going to receive your story well, and I hope that you all receive my story. I'm going to attempt to talk through this without crying. I do have a tissue in my pocket. Yes, I brought one from home, so I have that. And please excuse me if I keep referring to my notes. I'm not a professional speaker. In fact, at one point I thought I should just ask Paul Raspa to do this for me. So just, okay, you can read this for me, Paul, if you don't mind. Okay, great. So I've been an Arizona resident for 45 years, and I attend services here at Unity of Mesa for 6 months out of the year. But no, I am not a snowbird. I fell for the love of my life, Donna Crawford, right there behind Paul. Donna's the love of my life, and now I spend 6 months of the year in Montana, Kalispell, Montana, where we attend the Kalispell Center for Spiritual Living. It's a Science of Mind church. Many, many parallels, and I think I've discussed this with Reverend Nikki before, many parallels, and the reverends in Montana. A lot of parallels to these two teachings. The nearest Unity church is like 2 hours away, so we go locally. So yes, not a snowbird, but since I met the love of my life, I like to say that I'm a lovebird. Okay, my story. I was raised Catholic, and once I began to be able to think for myself, maybe as a young teenager, I'm going to look at the young people here. I love you guys so much. I do, and you're so blessed to be here in this environment. So I was raised Catholic, but once I started thinking for myself, I thought, why would God punish me for, I'm going to do air quotes here, my sins? I thought, this doesn't work for me. And the thought of heaven and hell and a punishing God just did not resonate with me. So I walked away. I walked away from the Catholic Church, and for over 40 years, I would tell you during that time that I was agnostic, but in reality, I was behaving as an atheist. Not proud of that today, but what I am proud of is that God did not desert me. God did not walk away from me during that time. I've been protected my entire life. I've been loved and protected by God, and I'm so grateful for that, and thanks for not letting me go. So what changed? What changed me from this non-believer into who I am today? In 2011, I moved to Sedona, Arizona, and my daughter, after just 3 weeks, comes to visit me because she wanted to make sure that Daddy was okay. And we still have a great relationship. We're having Christmas. She lives actually just about 2 miles from here. So my daughter comes to visit me, and she wanted to have her aura read. And so we went into a metaphysical store in Sedona to have her aura read. And like in the first few seconds we walked in, the woman who worked there walked right up to her and held her hand to my daughter's forehead and says, "What's wrong?" My daughter had right before that been diagnosed with a brain tumor. And yeah, this is the harder part. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, no, thank you. So my daughter, a professional woman, she was a manager of 3 HOAs, very, loving mother, wife, active in the community, many, many friends. And she was told, and she had actually become this person who just sat on the couch, and she said, the doctor said, "You're never going to be the same. This is your life. You're going to be sitting on the couch for the rest of your life." At this point, she's just like 40 years old, so you're thinking, oh my God, goodness gracious, what's going on here? So what happened? The staff at the store took her picture and wrote her story and posted that picture and the story on a table in this store, uptown Sedona, and asked that all who saw the picture, saw the words, would send her healing energy. Now, how many hundreds of or thousands of people actually did that? We'll never know. We'll never know these people. I'm so grateful for that. And she had her aura read, and if you're familiar with aura photos, hers was mostly black. And, black is not good. Black is not good, but that's where she was at that point in time. So fast forward a year. I'm driving down the road in Sedona, and my daughter calls, and she's crying. Okay, parents, it's not what you want to hear, right? Your daughter calls, your children call you, and they're crying. And my heart stopped, and I'm driving down the road thinking, I need to pull in wherever I can pull in. And she says, "Daddy, it's gone. The tumor is gone. The doctor said I would never be able to function again in my life, but the tumor is gone." Now, is this a random occurrence? No, not a random occurrence. This is divinely guided energy healing from hundreds, perhaps thousands of people who didn't even know her, but blessed her with that, being that vessel to receive, to send that healing energy. Not a random. Now, she's back to her former self, so I'm glad to say we're having Christmas at her house this year, the whole family. I get to see the whole family, because I'm from here. My whole family's here. Most of them live within 5 minutes of this location here. So that, my friends, is how this atheist, I'm sorry, I'm ashamed to say it, but I'm proud to say it in front of y'all. This atheist started his spiritual practice. I lived in Sedona, and I started attending the Unity of Sedona. And so that was my first church experience in a very long time. And the teachings there were very similar to what we receive here. And that's when I decided to choose my own path. While in Montana, like I said, Donna and I attend the Kalispell Center for Spiritual Living, and a lot of parallels. So, where am I now? Got to tell you, work in progress. Still a work in progress. I do know that God never abandoned me. I do recognize that there are other masters in the world. I recognize Jesus. I recognize the Buddha. I recognize the Prophet Muhammad. I'm not a scholar, so I'm not going to be able to sit here and talk about all of that. But I know there are masters that have walked this earth and are now back home teaching us, continuing to teach us. And I do consider people like, in Montana, Reverends Yvonne and Reverend Linda, Reverends Nikki and Mindy here, I recognize them also as masters. They're walking this earth now. They're teaching us the teachings that we need to hear every week. One of my mentors, actually it's the same woman who walked up to my daughter with her hand like this. She became one of my mentors, and she says that I should teach. I'm not a scholar, I'm not going to spend the time, I'm not going to be a reverend doctor, and all of that. That's not who I am. But I believe that my role in teaching is to lead by example. And I will be the best man I can. I will be the best man that Spirit allows me to be. And yes, like Julie said last week, working to recognize the Christ in everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, I love hearing people's stories. I mean, we say story, but it's real life. It's real life to you. And I am blessed to have learnt more about you, Kurt. Thank you. All right, our YFM spot this morning, I would like to invite up Miss Ali. She's going to lead us in our affirmation.
I'm thankful for God's great gift of life. Please say it with me. I am thankful for God's great gift of life.
Thank you, Ali. No announcements at the moment for YFM, except we are preparing for a wonderful 2026, but we're going to enjoy Christmas first. Okay, let's sing our children out, but first we're going to say a blessing. Children, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are.
All the way over here. Oh, perfect.
My Christmas wish for you, my friend, is not a simple one. For I wish you hope and joy and peace, days filled with warmth and sun. I wish you love and friendship too throughout the coming year. Lots of laughter and happiness to fill your world with cheer. May you count your blessings one by one, and when totaled by the lot, may you find all you've been given to be more than what you sought. May your journeys be short, your burdens light. May your spirit never grow old. May your clouds have silver linings and your rainbows pots of gold. I wish this all and so much more. May all your dreams come true, and may you have a happy Christmas, friend, and a happy New Year too.
This is my wish for the world, that peace will find its way to every boy and girl. This is the time for harmony. Let love be the song that everybody sings. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Lift your light, let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. I hear the sweetest sound, the sound of hope to come. Together we could bring goodwill to everyone. Let it start with you, let it start with me. Let every nation rise and sing this melody. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Lift your light, let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let there be peace on earth. Whoa, oh, oh, yeah. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Lift your light, let it shine. Let it shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth.
This is an energetic weekend. In case you didn't know, there's a few things going on, one of which is winter solstice, one of which is a new moon, and one of which is the discovery of a brand new comet. So all of those energies are twirling in our minds and hearts and in our universe. The winter solstice is about death and the miracle of rebirth. It's about hope and resilience. The new moon in Sagittarius is that miraculous balance between holding and achieving these high aspirations and at the same time needing to be patient. Just saying. And then there's this comet. It's 3I/Atlas. It was discovered, first came on the radar in May of this year, and then in July they're like, yeah, it's a comet. And when comets go around the sun, a lot of times they burn up. So here it's a miraculous revolution around the sun, and this weekend it's as close to Earth as it's ever going to get. Best seen by a telescope, but I've been told that with binoculars you can see this star in the sky. Out of all the scientific research that's been done on biblical stories and validating their factual nature, the number one story researched is Noah and the Ark. The number 2 is Moses and the Exodus from Egypt, like how did that Red Sea actually part? And number 3 is the star that the wise men followed. So the prevailing theories are A, it was a alignment, there's a C word for it, but I'm not thinking of what it is. Anyway, so these planets lined up. It was definitely Jupiter and Saturn and maybe Venus, and it happened in the year 7 BCE. This is factual. So they had this alignment of planets. Now, astrologers love that because when planets line up like that, it's significant to royalty. And if you believe that Jesus is the newborn king, then it could have happened this way. Or it was a comet. The Chinese have records of a comet that was so big and came so close to Earth in the year 5 BCE that it was visible for 70 days. And there's a NASA scientist who says that because of geosynchronous movement, very technical term, and it was that close, it appeared to stand still above where? Bethlehem. That matches the story that's in Matthew. Or this star was an explosion of a star. It was the death of a star. So it was a nova or a supernova. And both the Koreans and the Chinese have a record of a bright light appearing in the sky in the year 4 BCE. No records in the West. No remnants to be found, but it's when I begin to ruminate on whether it's factual, like we can validate it, when I begin to ruminate on that, I just come back to my paradigm, which is true for all stories, myths, and legends, and that is, I don't know that it happened, but I don't know that it didn't. Like, it's not important. That's not the important part. The important part is that it's a story, and there might be something in the story for us. A story that has been written about for centuries and inspired visual art for centuries. When I was in high school, I took a French civilization class. Okay, not everybody's cup of tea, but it was my cup of tea. My cup of tea. And I discovered the art form called tapestry. So particularly in French civilization in high school, we studied the tapestries of the noblewoman that are found in the Musée de Cluny in Paris. And I would just marvel at the tens of thousands of threads that went into its creation, the thousands of hours that it took, and the hundreds of colors that were put together in a Flemish workshop to produce such beauty. And then I would contemplate, like, was the rabbit intentional? Was the goat intentional, or the bunnies intentional when the story began to be woven together, or is that something that came out miraculously in the telling, in the creation? Now, the story that's being told all over the world at this time of the year is the Christmas story. It's told in Sunday school. It's told in pageants. It's read about, like scripture is read to tell this story. I grew up in Unity where we interpret things metaphysically, and I had parts of the story, but not all of the story every year, because that's the way Unity rolls. But what I do know, and here is a picture of a tapestry called the Nativity that hangs in the Vatican Museum. What I do know is that these elements were present. An unexplained pregnancy. That was Mary. Joseph defined tradition and culture, a journey to Bethlehem, birth in a stable, and a star that was followed by wise men, a tapestry that has been woven together in a story with miraculous consequences. Now, in Unity, we don't believe anything that happens by chance. There's no grand design that fixes us on the other kind of plan. It's just that we know in Unity that we have influence over how our story turns out, because we have the power of our mind and our heart to shape our experiences that we have in life. We call it the law of mind action. Thoughts and feelings held in mind produce after their kind. So even if we're producing something that has seemingly no apparent correlation with what's in our mind and hearts, we're actually manifesting, we're demonstrating to the best of our human ability, and somehow that's miraculous. In the year 2002, a creative author who had a knack for painting took a real-life story and put it in a book called A Christmas Tapestry. Now, the real-life story was told first by Reverend Dr. Clarence Riedenbach, and then again by Reverend Dr. Robert Schuller in his Hour of Power. But it came out in this book, Christmas Tapestry, and the first words are, "There are those who say there is no balance in the universe, and that all things happen randomly without purpose." And this is really a profound teaser for what's about to unfold in this story. Jonathan Jefferson Weeks and his family moved from Memphis, Tennessee to Detroit, Michigan. And this was bad for Jonathan. Jonathan was a popular boy. He had just made the soccer team. He had 1 million friends. Life in Memphis was perfect. And here they moved to Detroit where they didn't know anybody. And he looked around at the church where his father got placed and said, "This place is a dump. It's small. And what did we do wrong to have deserved this?" And his mother went through the moving boxes and found the family photo albums and took them out and showed Jonathan and his sister exactly what the church in Memphis had looked like when they arrived. And it was worse than Detroit. Dad said, with courage and faith and a lot of hard work, by Christmas, we will have a miracle. So the family over the summer cleaned out overgrowth. They threw away trash. They mended fences. They planted the bulbs that would come up in the following spring. They worked so hard that the neighborhood noticed, and the neighbors got inspired and started to help them. And Jonathan loved this because Jonathan had friends. Now he had friends. It was December before the sacristy wall was ready to be painted with a base coat. They had a famous painter that was going to come in and put up a portrait of Jesus, and everybody knew that this was going to be the Christmas miracle. Except a storm blew in. The kind of winter storm that the Midwest has just gotten this past week. And I understand that Chicago is still being hammered. So it came in. Do you guys know what ice dams are? Okay, so those of you who have lived in a winter climate, like I did for 2 winters in Connecticut, what happens is the edges of the eaves freeze. like the water has melted and then it freezes solid. And so as your building continues to be warm, new water melts, the snow comes from melted snow and has nowhere to go. So the water comes up underneath the shingles and then comes down into the attic and inside the walls. It's a real messy, messy catastrophe. And that's what happened to the church in Detroit. In fact, the water was worse inside the walls of the sacristy than anywhere else in the building, and the plaster actually fell off the wall. Jonathan was devastated. All of their hard work, all of their community connection, everything was embodied in that wall that was now a soggy mess on the floor. The next morning, Jonathan was still sour as he and his dad got up and had plans to go into the city so that they could pick up ornaments that they had on layaway, and the car battery was dead. So Dad hooked up the charger, and Jonathan and his dad trudged over to the bus stop and took the bus downtown. They were able to go get their layaway things. They had everything they needed, and they were going back to the bus stop when the wind became so fierce that they ducked into an alley for respite. And there in the alley was an antique store. And in the window of the antique store was this beautiful fabric. It had threads of gold and red and green. And Jonathan said, "This fabric is the exact right size to cover the hole in the sacristy wall." And Dad didn't even want to look because he only had $15 in his pocket. But the antique dealer made him an offer he couldn't refuse. And so for $15, they walked away from that antique store with the cloth, the fabric, folded in their arms. They went to the bus stop and waited and waited and waited and waited. And while they waited, they became friendly with the old woman who was sitting there. Eventually, the bus was so late that she offered them some tea from her thermos and some homemade oatmeal and raisin cookies. And they began to chat, and they chatted all the way till it was almost time for Dad and Jonathan to get off at their house. The old woman said she had 2 more transfers to go. So Dad says, "Why don't you come in for a few minutes, get warm, and I'll drive you. The battery on the car will have charged up by now." And she said, "Okay." And Jonathan, he was so excited about this fabric they were going to hang, and he said, "Can we hang the fabric before we go?" So Dad and Jonathan are putting up the piece of fabric, and the old woman says, "That's mine. I made it. Where did you get it?" And Jonathan says, "From the antique store right around the corner in the bus stop. How do you know that it's yours?" And she said, "I made it and I sewed it. All the appliques are mine. I put them on by hand, and every one of those flowers represents people in my family." Well, Dad says, "Well, then we need to give it back." And he folded it up and handed it to her. And she said, no, I can't take it. Somehow it's right for this to be here. I can feel it. I can feel it. And so they hung it back up on the wall. And she came over and she turned the corner, and sure enough, there were her initials on the back. And she said, "It's a huppah. It's a canopy that my husband and I were married under. It later became the cover for our bridal bed, my bridal bed. And if we were lucky enough to have children, it would have been wrapped around the babies as they were named. But that was not to be. The Nazis came, and my husband and I were sent to different camps, and I never saw him again. Please, hang it. It's beautiful. And I am so happy to see that it is still loved." Christmas morning comes and there's a Christmas Eve morning comes and there's a knock on the door. It's the repairman coming to take a look at the plaster. So they said, right here, right here. They bring him in and they said, it's right here. The fabric is covering up the hole. And he sits down in the first row and says, where did you get that? My wife made that. And Jonathan says, were your wife's initials J-R-Z? And Mr. Zucker says yes. But that was a long time ago. My wife died in the camps during the war. And Jonathan says, oh, no, she didn't. Oh, no, she didn't. She lives right here in this city. We know where her apartment is. We should take you there. They hadn't seen each other for over 50 years. So that night in the church that was filled with love and light and a beautiful tapestry, you wonder how miracles occur. The elements are there. A car battery that won't start, ice dams and a flood, going into an alley to get out of the wind, a bus that was late, and a repairman whose skill was unmatched in that area. So as you tell your Christmas stories, remember that things don't always happen in a way we understand them, but always, always, they unfold in their right and perfect, miraculous order. So yes, the tapestry of our lives is made of tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of threads of stories that have come together that are uniquely ours. And in the right and perfect and miraculous way, we're in the right place at the right time right now to have the experiences that are ours to have. And our presence on earth at this time is a miracle. So let's turn this into an affirmation for ourselves, because we're kind of in a crazy world, right? Let's say together, things don't always happen in a way I understand them, but always, always they unfold in their right and perfect, miraculous order. Take a breath into that. We're going to sing, O come, Emmanuel. A song about being released from exile, from those thoughts we have of lack, limitation, from those thoughts that we didn't do things right, or that things aren't going right, or things are just not the way we want them to be. But they're always, always in their right and perfect, miraculous order.
That once in long
taking those holy sounds, those holy words, and the high aspirations of freedom from exile, freedom from thinking we are separate from our divinity. The greater alignment we have with divine mind and divine heart. The higher thinking we have, and the more often we see the correlation between our thoughts and feelings and the miracle that we are every day. That the spiritual work we've been engaged in, believing and not believing, but the spiritual work that we've engaged in has led us to moments of joy, of peace, of profound synchronicity, and deep gratitude. And it is in this energy that we sit in the holy and sacred silence. Bless each one of us for the energy that we bring to life, for the enlightenment that we each share with each other, for the empowerment that we stand together in. It is our light that brings heaven to earth in a beautiful tapestry with miraculous consequences. So it is, and so we let it be. Amen and amen.
Just take a moment to come back into this time. As Reverend Mindy was describing the Christmas miracle and the destruction that came before it, the frozen eaves, it made me think about some of the things that have been going on with our building. We've had to do a lot of repairs this year. We had to repair the roof, and we did have a pretty decent deductible that we had to kind of dig out of our pockets to spend. And we have a new HVAC unit that needs to be put up. And these are significant pieces of a puzzle for us to be here, for us to hear stories like these that will live on in us for days, weeks, and years to come. And I do feel like Unity of Mesa could use a little bit of a miracle when it comes to our finances. So I just ask that today, as we go over the different ways of offering, you consider not only what you're giving today and in this season, we know times can be tight, but what you give on a regular basis so that we can all continue to be here and continue to become together, because that's what we do when we're here. We continue to become, to grow and change, and to be a Christmas miracle for other people. There are a few different ways that you can give today. You can give through the Vanco app. We have a QR code up there. You can give in the bookstore in the back, which is freshly painted and has new lighting. You can give via snail mail. We will gladly accept those offerings as well, especially if you're joining us online and feel that it's on your heart to participate in a different way. As the ushers come around with the baskets, we just envision them full not only of the abundance of monetary nature, but of peace, of love, of gratitude. Whatever you can put into that basket today, Unity of Mesa will gladly receive. Please pray with me. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
Sidewalks covered up in snow, lights up everywhere we go. Santa's on his way. It's Christmas every day. It's here again. Finally the season when everybody's caroling. Peace on earth, goodwill to everyone. Children all having fun, waiting on Santa to come with a bag full of Christmas cheer. It all goes by so fast. If only we can make this last. Sidewalks covered up in snow, lights up everywhere we go. Santa's on his way. It's Christmas every day. Friends all warmed up by the fire. Sometimes I just wish that I could always feel this way, like it's Christmas every day. As for me, there's nothing like a Christmas tree surrounded by family. Deck the halls with boughs of evergreen. Let's pop some corn and watch our favorite scene, where the angel gets his wings with every bell that rings. It all goes all so fast. If only we can make this last. Sidewalks covered up in snow, lights up everywhere we go. Sidewalks covered up in snow, lights up everywhere we go. Santa's on his way. It's Christmas every day. Friends all warmed up by the fire. Sometimes I just wish that I could always feel this way, like it's Christmas every day. Oh, 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 Christmas every day. If I could have one more gift just for me, joy to the world. If I could have one more gift just for me. Sidewalks covered up in snow, lights up everywhere we go. Santa's on his way. It's Christmas every day. Friends all warmed up by the fire. Sometimes I just wish that I could always feel this way, like it's Christmas every day. Sidewalks covered up in snow, lights up everywhere we go. Santa's on his way. It's Christmas every day. Friends all warmed up by the fire. Sometimes I just wish that I could always feel this way, like it's Christmas every day.
Yay! Feels like Christmas today.
It does, very joyful.
Very joyful. As our ushers come forward, let's bless our offering and take a blessing for yourself too, for we are truly one. We are one with the opulence of God. We are now in the flow of infinite abundance, and we give thanks for the prosperity that is ours by divine right. It's been a beautiful day. Thank you for your presence here. We have hospitality outside through these double doors where there's the exit sign. We have a conversation starter for you, just in case you're a little bit shy like me and like, oh, I don't know what to say to somebody. Ask them this question: what's one small moment in this year that feels like a Christmas gift? What's one small moment that you've experienced this year that feels like a Christmas gift? And share that with each other. And just as the story of the tapestry was today that opens our hearts, notice how we're opening our hearts to one another. We have chaplains to pray with you. Bring what you would like the outcome of your prayer to be to our lovely chaplains, and they will hold that in consciousness with you so that together you bring that energy into manifestation for yourself and for others. It's John and Judy, Audrey, and Sharon, thank you. I knew I was missing somebody. So notice who they are. Go and have them pray with you. Would you like to say anything?
I want you to go to the next slide, please.
Oh, yes.
Because we are going to have a fundraising concert in February starring our very own Jay Melberg and Zach Wetzel. So Zach, come and tell us just a teeny bitty bit, like tease us, because tickets will go on sale soon.
Sure. Okay, so this is a very unique concert because it's beyond Broadway. So it starts with Broadway songs that you know, and then it goes all over the place.
Okay.
So there's my teaser.
Okay, all right, that's fantastic. We're so excited, we're honored, and it's just going to be a whole lot of fun. A Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock, you go to lunch, you come back, woohoo, we have a good time. All right, the next slide is a reminder that this Wednesday is Christmas Eve. Unity Tradition is a candlelight service. We have 4 magnificent readers from our ministerial cohort. Yes, Unity of Mesa has a ministerial cohort now. And they're going to be reading, Reverend Nikki will do the homily, and I get to read a poem. It's going to be magical and mystical. So please, please, please take time out of your holiday schedule to come to this 1-hour service on Wednesday at 7 o'clock.
Thank you for your presence here. Let's pray our way out with the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have the best week ever, and see you on Wednesday.
Sidewalks covered up in snow, lights up everywhere we go. Santa's on his way, it's Christmas every day. Friends all warmed up by the fire. Sometimes I just wish that I could always feel this way, like it's Christmas every day.